Greetings once again from the banks of the South River here in Annapolis, Maryland. I am Gregg Gregory. And wow, what a day. Beautiful skies, sunshine, warm weather. And you know, just a few short days ago, a little over 1,000 men and women graduated the United States Naval Academy. They're now officers in the Navy or the Marine Corps, and they're going on to lead their teams. When we stop to think about teamwork, let me tell you something. Teamwork and leadership come hand in hand from there. And that's what we start to think about here. Over the last several weeks, I've been sharing ideas with you about on-purpose teams and the individual elements. Today, I want to wrap things up for you a little bit in this segment and talk about on-purpose teams as a whole. So there were 4 elements that we talked about that were individually based and 4 elements that are team-based. Now, as we're going through this, I want you to think about some of the greatest teams you've recognized throughout history. It could be Abraham Lincoln's cabinet. It could be a sports team if you think about any one of those. It doesn't matter the team you think about, but think about how great they were, how strong they were. And think about these words as how they apply to that team. So, let's start off. Our first word we talked about was trust. Getting on purpose, the team has to trust each other. Members have to trust each other individually. Leaders have to trust members. Members have to trust leaders. But it's got to become vulnerability trust. And vulnerability trust is the power behind what we're looking at. People need to be vulnerable. See, vulnerability is not a weakness. It is actually very much a strength. And that's the key element there. When we build trust, the whole team starts to strive and thrive. Now, our second word was responsiveness. People need to be responsive. And we talked about that being across the board here. Responsive to customers, obviously, on the end run. But we've also got our colleagues, our team members, our supervisors, people in other departments. All of those things start to come together. They got to be responsive all the way down. I recently had someone in the hospital, and even the housekeeper came in and was responsive every single day about checking on the patient, even though it was not her responsibility. She was responsive. And that's the strengths of what you start to recognize. Are you responsive? Are these players responsive? Are the people of the teams responsive? Our third word was ownership. You've got to take ownership. You know, I remember great Ziegler saying years ago, a captain is only as free as he wants to be on the ocean, as long as he is slave to his compass. He's got to be responsive. He's got to take ownership. You've got to take ownership in everything you do, good and bad. There's a lot of folks who may own up to what they make mistakes. There's also some folks who get a little braggadocious at times when they're working on other things and they do something right. Taking ownership does not mean being braggadocious. It does not mean putting others down. It's owning what you do and taking pride in what you do. Now, our fourth word on the individual side was mission. We've got to have a passion for our mission. The organization has its mission statements. We all know that. We've got our vision statements. But what about individual passion for a mission? Why are you doing the job you do? Today is more important than ever that you're working for an organization that takes pride in it. And that's what you start to see in these powerful teams. They believe in what they're doing for the overall good, but they also believe in what the individual team is doing and how it thrives to help the overall team succeed. Those are the things we start to look at. A mission. It's not the mission statement, but you've got to have your own mission. The individual team has to have the mission, and everybody's got to have a passion built with that. So it's trust, responsiveness, ownership, and mission are the individual keywords. Let's jump over on the team keywords and those key elements that we're talking about. Nothing happens if everybody's not engaged. The Naval Academy teaches that. How do they get engaged? They even say they strip the midshipmen down their freshman summer. They strip them down of all of their civil liberties and they give them back as they start to earn them back. They earn them back because they become more and more engaged. That's what you start to do. How are you engaged with your team? What are you doing to help keep other people on your team engaged? Individuals and teams, we've all got to think about how we're engaging with each other and keeping everybody engaged. There's nothing worse than when somebody just becomes actively disengaged with the team. Next, we've got synchronization. One of the greatest examples of that is right here. A baton, a 4x100 relay race. They have to have a perfect handoff. They've got to be in sync with what they're doing. I'm around marinas with boats all the time. Boats have to have twin engines. But when those twin engines are not in sync, the boat's not working right. When players on a team are not in sync with their individuals, there's a problem. And then when those teams are not in sync with other teams, it's even more of a challenge. Next we got is accountability. People have to hold each other accountable for what they're doing. Yes, accountability can be tough because at times you feel like you're picking on somebody or somebody feels like you're picking on them. Well, you're not. Not if you've built everything else correctly. Get those ideas in place. Get those strengths going. Hold each other accountable. Because when you start to hold each other accountable, that really builds on the synchronization. Synchronization goes back to John Kennedy's quote of a rising tide raises all ships. Everybody wins. Likewise, when there's not in sync, when we're not engaged, when we're not holding accountable, the team flounders. And it's not just one team member floundering, it's the whole team. You know, the last word in this process here is knowledge. And in my workshops, I always ask, do you believe knowledge is power? And people say, sure. Knowledge is not power without sharing and application. We've got to learn how to share that knowledge. Share it with our other team members, share with our colleagues. Share the knowledge with your customers. It does not matter what type of business industry you're in, whether it's a service industry or production industry, it does not matter. Knowledge is incredibly powerful when it is shared and applied. Let's look at it again. Team members need to be engaged. They've got to be synchronized. They've got to hold each other accountable. And of course, everybody's got to share knowledge. We all win. Let's go back and look at them again. Trust, responsiveness, ownership, mission for individuals, engagement, synchronization, accountability, and knowledge sharing for teams. When you've got those in place, like Abraham Lincoln's cabinet in the 1860s, even from people from opposite sides of the political aisle and spectrum, when they came together, they held each other accountable. Lincoln purposely chose people that he ran against with opposing views. Shackleton's expedition, by many considered a failure, by many others considered an incredible success. Because everybody knew what they were doing, and when they did not make their destination, guess what? They were still successful because not one person died on that mission. Can you think of another one like that? Apollo 13. Wow, there's a team that came together in the midst of all kinds of challenges. They didn't just say we're going to die. They all knew what to do on Earth and up in space. By the way, Jim Lovell graduated the Naval Academy. Guys, you can see great teamwork in action in so many places. On-purpose teams, the system we have developed, is an incredible system to take you from individuals through the teams to really make your teams build and focus on purpose. And when they're on purpose, they're going to be high performing. We can do this for you at a conference. Just all you need to do is click the QR code down here or get the link below in the notes. Take that link, set up a 30-minute call. Let's talk about how we can get your teams on purpose. When the time's right, when your teams are ready, let me know. Just a free call. Let's talk about it. Let's get your teams on purpose. On my little scooter here in Annapolis, Maryland, on the banks of the South River, Chesapeake Bay right behind me. My name is Gregg Gregory, and I'm excited to be your team partner. Until next time, make sure you make it an excellent and exceptional day because you deserve it. Bye-bye.